ready to go someplace. Driving along the road. You haven't been in the car good but a minute or two. And here it comes. Are we there yet? No, we're not there. Give it another couple of minutes. Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. You do anything to keep these kids occupied. You give them a toy. You give them a book. You give them a game. Nowadays, you can start a DVD. But still, in the middle of it all, they're going to stop and ask once again, are we there yet? The children of Israel, when they were freed from bondage in Egypt, they were on a road to a better place. They were on a road to the promised land. They were on the road, and I bet you they asked Moses 1,000 times, are we there yet? But they weren't there because they couldn't release from where they had been. They couldn't release themselves from their previous thinking. They couldn't let go of that previous energy. They couldn't let go of the dirt on their feet from where they had been in order to move into a new place, in order to move into a new space, in order to move into a new energy. They couldn't release what was already there to get to where they needed to be. So they wandered through the desert. They wandered through the wilderness. Oftentimes we wander. We wander in confusing thoughts. We wander in different ways of being. We wander in all kinds of strange energy trying to get there and sometimes still holding on to here. Can you get there like that? No, you can't. You have to let go of where you've been. You've got to change your thought. You've got to transform your thought. You've got to release the previous thinking. You've got to release the previous place to get moving on. The disciples, Jesus had them with him for a long time. He showed them many things, taught them a lot. But some of them still couldn't let go of who they were before in order to perform the miracles that Jesus had taught them how to perform. They were still caught up in they're just a man. They were still caught up in they are only human. They were still caught up in not being enough. They didn't have what Jesus had. They couldn't do what Jesus did. And Jesus told them, sometimes this calls for fasting. This calls for being still. This calls for calling upon the Spirit within. So even the disciples had some issues with releasing what was to move into what is, to what can be. And that's what we have to do on our journey to enlightenment. And I'm talking about the journey to enlightenment. You probably wonder, well, really, Deb, what is enlightenment? What does it mean to be enlightened? Well, let me tell you my definition of it, how I understand it. I understand it to be the light that starts to spread from within, bringing understanding and awareness to what already is. There is nothing new out there. There is no new information. There's no new being. There's no new anything. It's all already there. It is just up to us to see it. It is just up to us for it to be revealed. It is just up to us to get the understanding. And you can't get that understanding in the dark. Anybody ever go to that thing called dialogue in the dark? You're in there and you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're walking through and you got your little cane and you're feeling on different things. Oh yeah, that's an apple. Yeah, that's a can. Okay, all right. And you go through and you feel the different things to figure out what it is. And you can figure out what it is even without the light because you're familiar with something old. But that's just like with enlightenment. You take something that you knew, you feel it, you touch it, and then you allow it to be transformed. You allow it to be transformed to bring new light and new understanding. The Bible has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and we read it, but each and every time you read it, if you allow yourself, you will reach a new level of understanding. And that's what enlightenment is. It's reaching a higher level of understanding from where you were to where you are now. It's allowing the light within to grow. It's allowing the light within to shine more light on what already is so that you have a better understanding of it. I once saw this movie called Like Water from Chocolate. Has anybody seen that? It's a great movie. And in this movie, the lady that was in it was a great cook. She took up cooking just like her grandmother. But the thing is that when she cooked, she put everything into it. I mean, if she was feeling sad as she's cooking and the tears would flow into her food, guess what? Everybody that ate was crying, okay? If she was happy when she was cooking and she was joyous and she was having a great time and celebrating and partying, then everybody that ate, when they ate her food, they were feeling that same sensation. She put a couple other things in there we're not going to talk about right now. But the point is that your emotions go before you to transform the energy in the air of where you are. It is up to you to bring that before you. Your energy needs to go before you whenever you walk into a room. Your energy needs to go before you wherever your intentions go. Because the two of those together is what helps you to manifest because you are believing. The key to it is that whatever you put in is really what you're going to get out. What we have to understand is that we are each a unique, unrepeatable miracle. And so no two recipes are going to be alike. So whatever it is that's going to be for me to become enlightened, I may need to climb on top of a rock, sit in a yogi position with my hands like this and go, for a week to become enlightened. You may need to take 3 deep breaths and all of a sudden, wow, I got it. You may need to read the whole Bible 3 times and say, ooh, I got it. You may need to run a marathon. For everybody, it is something different. We all have our unique way of understanding, of seeing, of being that brings about that of which we wish to see. There's a story in the Bible that comes from Acts chapter 19. And it talks about the sons of Stephen. Now, the sons of Stephen had watched Paul. And they had watched Paul perform all these great and powerful and wonderful miracles. They watched Paul healing. They watched him and the disciples, get rid of demons. They watched them do all kinds of wonderful things. And they noticed that whenever Paul did this, he always did everything in the name of Jesus. So they figured, well, we can do this too. So they came upon a situation in which a young man was supposed to be possessed by demons, and they set about to heal him. We rebuke you, demons, in the name of Paul's friend Jesus. In the name of that Jesus that Paul had. You think it worked? No, it didn't work. But why didn't it work? It wasn't because they didn't say it right. They could have said it in the name of Jesus just like Paul did. They could have said it in the name of Jesus the way we had been taught to say as we came up. That had nothing to do with it. It was because they had no understanding. They didn't know what it meant. They didn't have the belief deep within them of what the power of that name could do. And it's not so much the name of Jesus, it's whatever word you want to put with it. It can be Buddha, it can be Allah, it can be anybody, as long as you have the emotion and the belief that when you put this energy out, that something is going to manifest from it. It's up to you. It is based upon your belief. In this particular situation, the demons came up and said, I know Paul. I know Jesus, and I know all those disciples, but I don't know you. And the demons took them over, okay? He didn't know them. And they didn't know in their heart what they were talking about. They had no understanding. They had no awareness. They were not enlightened to what that power made manifest. Even when you don't think that you're there, what's really important is the journey along the way. I mean, our kids, they're riding in the car, and instead of focusing on the beauty of the world that they see as they're riding by, instead of focusing on possibly the animals in the farmland along the way, instead of focusing on the beauty of the ocean that they may be passing by, they're too concerned about the destination. But it's not about the destination. It's not about where you're going. It's about where you are right now. Where are you right now? What is precious about this moment in your life right now? What is God saying to you in this moment that brings you more awareness and more enlightenment? What can you do in this moment to spread that light to another? It's not the destination. It's not even the origin. It's the right now. The journey to enlightenment is all about where you are right now, what you're doing with the right now, where you're taking the right now. So now, I'm going to ask you again. Are you there yet? Yes, you are there. You are there because you are aware of who you are. And who are you? Once again, let's put it out there. You're an incredible, miraculous, unrepeatable miracle that only you can be you. What can you do with that? That's not the question, is it? The question is, what can't you do with that? You can do anything you set your mind, your body, and your spirit, the spirit of the God within, and you set those intentions with that emotions, and you put it out there, and you can do it all. Whatever it is, you can have that Z form. You can have that filled stadium of people listening to you. You can go out there and you can provoke the thought. You can transform people. You can change lives. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do it all. The question is, do you believe it? You're walking on a journey that is fantastic. You're walking on a journey that is marvelous. You're walking on a journey that's worthy of being put up in lights. This is the journey of Rev Deb. Coming to a theater near you. You need to see this. Because that's what it's all about. Every journey is important. Every journey is a star journey. Every journey has everything to do with everybody else's journey. My journey means nothing without your journey. I can't maximize who I am until you're maximizing who you are. We are all connected. We all need one another. We are all touching and agreeing that it is so. And so it is. That's right. So I ask you again, on your journey to enlightenment, are you there yet? That's right. And so it is. Thank you.